Hi, it's Ronick from Ask.Audio, and we're at Super Booth 2017. It's day 3, and we're still surviving. Hey Chris, how you doing?
Yeah, I'm good, thank you. But as you quite rightly say, Ronick, it's day 3.
Yeah.
So yeah,
it's not about thriving; it's about surviving.
Exactly.
But we are here, obviously, at Novation, and we're here to look at the Circuit Mono Station, but with a difference. You've probably seen the videos of the Circuit Mono Station, which is basically, correct me if I'm wrong, it's basically the love child of a circuit and a base station too.
Well, I guess that's a great way of describing it, really. You know, we've got analog synthesizer, mono synth up at the top end, and we've got the circuit sequencer down here at the bottom end. And but essentially it's kind of aspects of the base station. We've taken aspects of the base station. We've taken the sequencer from circuit, pushed these two together, and created the mono station. That's a good way of approaching it. But I think because of the fact it's a sequencer and also an analog synth as well, it's got quite a different flavour than just, say, a standard base station, or even, the good old circuit like we have here as well. It can do some quite interesting things. I mean, obviously there's been quite a few videos that have gone out about mono station and covering all the sort of usual things. So, the two oscillators, the paraphonic behaviour as well, where we can split the two oscillators into two different areas. But I thought for this little video, I'd bring in the no coast this morning, and we'd have a look at some of the external CV sequencing and that sort of thing that you're able to do with it. On the back of the mono station, spin it round, you'll see we've got our sort of connections here. So we've got main out, audio input, which is one of my favourite things. It's superb. MIDI in, out and through, clock in and out, and then here we've got our CV. So we've got CV and gate and an auxiliary CV outputs as well. So I figured that maybe we could just have a look at how we can use mono station to sort of control these things. And I think some of the other features that are on the synth as well that we've not looked at.
That sounds awesome. I mean, to have the Make Noise Zero Coast here and to see it being interfacing with Circuit Mono Station, I think is exactly what a lot of people at Super Booth would be very interested in.
Yeah, exactly. And it's. Well, for a long time, it's the first time we've had CV and gate on here for a long time, so why not have something that reacts to that and we can make use of it. So basically, if I just turn down all the oscillators and everything down here on my mixer, so everything's down, mono station here is actually now triggering. You can just see here on the no coast, it's triggering that. So basically, that's really, really straightforward. So just put a quick sequence in here. Random sequence created. So obviously we're triggering here the zero coast, no problem at all. CV and gate is tied in at the moment to oscillator 1. But we've also got our auxiliary CV output as well. And if I go to my mod matrix section on the mono station, you can see here I've got access to my envelope, LFO, the mod sequence, and the velocity controls as well. So let's go to the LFO, let's go to auxiliary CV, and it's as simple now as just turning up the LFO depth, and this is feeding into the attenuverter here and then going into the multiply section of the no coast. We hear it straight away, it's there. But of course, one of the great things about the mono station is that everything's automatable, of course. So I go to my OS1 page, hit record. So now we're actually automating the CV output there, and able to control zero coast this way, which is a really nice thing.
Very cool.
So the other things that we can send, as I say, is the envelope as well. Let's take the LFO off now. So I'll just clear that. Take it out and record to clear it, of course. See, it's still early days. It's the first demo I've done like this one, so it's
Cool.
It's good fun. Anyway, here's the envelope. Here's my envelope. So let's put a bit of attack and stuff on. And again, of course, this can all be automated. So we're able to capture that data there and automate the attack and decay, or whichever. So it's a really nice system to be able to sequence your modular stuff as well. So that, I mean, that's basic CV control with external gear. But a couple of other things I wanted to mention as well. Some things that that we've been talking about Mono Station. If let's go to a clear session again, we've also got Oscillator Sync on here as well. So let's get that volume up. So if I just put a long gated note here, okay, go to Oscillator 2, turn on the sync. Now, yes, that's right. So I need to bring in the Oscillator 2 output now. Even though I'm changing the pitch here of Oscillator 2, I'm actually controlling the sync, if you like, the interaction between the two oscillators. I'll go up a couple of octaves maybe. Get a bit more pronounced. There we go. And again, I can automate this. So the Oscillator Sync is a really nice feature on the synth engine as well. A couple of other things that again we should talk about is the key tracking. So with the key tracking, we've got attached here to the cutoff on the filter. At the minute it's on full key tracking, so as I move up a keyboard range, the filter's going to open up. But if I can turn that off just here, or I can use variations. We've got 8 different variations of key tracking position in between. So that's a nice way of being able to control the filter as well. And I think another thing to mention as well is going to be the glide feature. And this is again really quite neat. So let's go to Oscillator 1. Just put a quick pat on here. So just get a bit of. Okay, so with the glide feature, I've got shift and gate, we go into the glide mode. Now this is if I just choose a glide level, this is just going to be a global glide level for this oscillator. So obviously that's quite extreme and it's not actually making it up to the notes there, so let's bring it down a bit.
So you have 16 different glide levels? Glide levels,
yeah, exactly, yeah. So, this is sort of, on peak here we have a glide knob, here we've got our 16 sort of glide presets, if you like. But the great thing is that we can actually set glide per step. And so, for example, maybe here, I'll turn the glide off for this first one. Now that value's kept until it receives another value, if you like. So, maybe this note here, we'll put this amount of glide on. Here, kick it. Maybe we'll go to an extreme.
Really cool.
So it's, a nice little thing there.
I like the way it's so instant. Like everything is just like 1 or 2 clicks away.
Exactly. I think that's one thing that we really try to capture at Novation. It's just sort of, we have a bit of a mantra of we want to make things that make it easy to make music. And that's a lot of effort goes into actually that design process to keep it as nice and as straightforward as possible. So thanks very much.
Do you have a lot of feedback in terms of the design process, or how does that work?
We've got an amazing team of guys who are sitting designing this stuff all of the time and road testing it as well. My role is to come along to events like this and sort of talk about it. But the design team are obviously hard at work behind the scenes creating all this sort of stuff. So
very cool.
But the last thing as well, what I wanted to say was, if I go to Oscillator 2, maybe I could just put another sequence in here. Maybe we can turn that onto paraphonic mode. Okay, it's not my finest musical opus, but that doesn't really matter too much. Now you can hear Oscillator 2 is jumping, it's not got any glide on there, but if I go to glide, I have a separate glide option for Oscillator 2. So let's put it on full. So it's starting to feel a little bit like I was last night. But you get the idea. So you have got this per oscillator glide feature, which I think is really nice.
That's really, really sweet. Thank you so much. So, when is Circuit Mono Station coming out?
Mono Station, we're hoping for sort of mid-June time, so some point in June, and price-wise, it's going to be around about $499.
$499. Cool. And do you know what that is in pounds?
I think, well, I'm not exactly certain. I think it's about $449. But yeah, but I think the easiest thing is to check online when it's available.
Yeah, cool. Well, we'll have more information about the Mono Station as soon as we can, and perhaps some other things coming up too. But more about that later. Stay tuned to Ask Audio. Thank you, Chris.
Excellent. Cheers.